Hey folks, Craig from the Vinyl Record Player. This episode is strictly for the lovers and or the lovers who are moving on. I'm going to show you 7 classic breakup songs and the albums that contain them. Please buckle up. All right, folks, and we're back. Just wanted to do a breakup songs video. I'm not sure what's going on with my YouTube algorithm, but there's some breakup songs in the mix lately, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a video. Got lots of breakup songs, so let's riff it. Let's start out with Dion. This is a Canadian compilation, double LP. The song I'm gonna reference today is "House Is Not a Home." Fantastic song, very kind of melancholic, but it's kind of the signal of the end of a relationship, right? And this one, has kind of been one of those ones that just followed me around, through relationships, et cetera, et cetera. But still remains just a classic heartbreaker, obviously produced by Bacharach David, as were most of her 60s hits. A classic, House Is Not a Home, Dionne Warwick. Number 2, let's talk about Nancy and Lee. This album is pretty good. It's some would say overrated. I saw a video by the Shelf Stacker. He was like, I think I may have to ditch this record. One reason why he shouldn't ditch this record is, of course, their cover of "You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'," which is a stunner. It's kind of slow, psychedelic, kind of it's a deep track. Really good version. I think it's probably, I don't want to say definitive, but very close. Obviously, the Righteous Brothers, fantastic. But off of Nancy and Lee, this is I think one of the only Nancy and Lee albums. I think they did a couple together. Of course, he worked with Anne Margaret, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, classic. You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'. Well, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, obviously, one of my favorite albums, Brother, Brother, Brother from 1972, I believe. We're going to talk about their cover of the Carole King classic, "It's Too Late," which is basically, I believe, you can see this is on the T-Neck label, which, of course, is the Isleys label. I believe it's like around 10 minutes and 31 seconds. You want to talk about like it's too late for 10 minutes and 31 seconds? This is the LP for you. Anyway, whatever. Great version. Great instrumental breaks. It's the Isleys, in my opinion, at kind of an early peak before they got into, the kind of funk band that basically every rapper sampled kind of, mid-70s and on. But "It's Too Late," Carole King, as performed by the Isleys. One of my favorite breakup jams of all time has got to be "So This Is Goodbye," Benny King from the beginning of it all, 1971. This was kind of a let's call it a less successful period of Benny King's career. He's floating a little bit. This would be between his some of his later 60s albums, which didn't do that well. Obviously, his classic "Stand By Me." "So This Is Goodbye" has these heartbreaking strings that are just tears at you, man. It tears. And obviously, if you're not coming for that song, you're coming for these boots, because I don't know what those boots are made for, but maybe they're made for being cool and being Benny King. Anyway, "So This Is Goodbye," Benny King. This one has been a bit of a something that's been going on the old player recently is Willie Hutch's cover of "The Way We Were." Bit of a classic, sort of a 70s song. I believe Barbra Streisand originally did this one, but Willie Hutch's version is outstanding, funky. Willie's you can tell he's starting to tighten up his production, maybe using some more tracks, a little bit more, even some early drum machines. This, of course, album is from 75. One of his classics, absolutely. But his version of "The Way We Were" is, man, again, it's another one of those ones where, like, if you're listening to it and your heart doesn't sink into your stomach, then, you better call a doctor because you may in fact be dead. Anyway, Willie Hutch, The Way We Were. Now we're going to be talking about more, this is more post, but this, of course, I showed this album recently. One of my favorite breakup songs are kind of post-breakup songs, kind of like we broke up, let's have a chat in my own small way. Rick Roberts. He, of course, was in the Burrito Brothers in the late period, post-Graham Parsons. I think he did a fantastic job. Then he was later in Firefall. I'm not a monster Firefall fan, but I do have basically his 2 solo LPs. They're both average to a little good. I wouldn't call them classics or anything, but Rick's great. And in my own small way, again, it blows my mind that millions of country artists never covered this jam because it's a heartbreaker. And finally, I'm just gonna, obviously talk about one of the classics of all time. I do not have the LP on me because, of course, it's actually on my soul wall, as is the classic nature of this LP. I'm, of course, talking about Walk On By Isaac Hayes, cover of the Bacharach David song. Just an immense jam. If you can handle it, you got to check in on that 12-minute version of Walk On By. It's symphonic, it's giant, it's funky. Isaac Hayes, again, just a master of this kind of realm. And Walk On By, which is kind of like, hey, we broke up and now I'm seeing you, and oh, that's rough. And you can feel it, but also, again, the song itself is it's an epic jam. So, that'd be number 7, Walk On By, Isaac Hayes, from Hot Buttered Soul, 1969. So again, please like and share the video, subscribe if you're still here, please. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like I say, this is just kind of I was thinking, well, let's talk breakup songs. And that's what we did. So again, we, I guess, are going to have to see you on the next one.